Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carlos Gonzales. I'm a graduate of the 1st Judicial District Drug Court in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I graduated in October 2001. Thank you. I'm honored to share the stage with all of these powerful people here today and to be able to come and speak to all of you. I'm grateful and I'm humbled to be here and to have been asked to share my story with you all. First, I'd like to introduce three of the most important people in my life. First of all, my wife, Juanita, and my parents, Rudy and Marcela Gonzales. I'd also like to acknowledge my counselor when I was in drug court and now my clinical supervisor as I serve problem-solving courts in my community, Brian Parkhill, who is here with IHS Recovery, and my sponsor, who is not here, Juan V., who's been my sponsor for 17 years in 12-step recovery. But most of all, I want to acknowledge my God, a God I could do business with. Thank you. I spent a good portion of my 20s not caring if I lived or I died. I drank and shot up cocaine and heroin in large amounts, knowing this could be the one to take me out, and I'd push the plunger. I put myself in insane situations that could have ended my life over and over again. I traveled the United States running from myself and the law. I had no regard for anyone that cared for me. My parents and grandparents spent years praying for me. My mom spent years waiting for the phone to ring to hear, "We found Carlos's body," or "Your son is dead." I threw away any and every opportunity in my life for drugs and alcohol. But that is the bad in a nutshell. Now here's the good, because that's what we're here for. I came into drug court facing 18 and a half years in prison. I was labeled by the prosecutor as a career criminal. She demanded prison. She said it was not worth spending any more state resources rehabilitating me. My mom found out about drug court, and she pursued them and begged them to panel me. She was sure that 18 years of prison would take me away forever, and she was right. When I went to drug court, I met my judge, Judge Michael V. Hill, and he asked me a very simple question. He said, "Mr. Gonzales, do you have children?" I said, "Yes, I do, Your Honor." He said, "It's an order of this court while you're in drug court that you carry a picture of those children with you everywhere you go. And if anybody in this court asks you for that picture and it's not on your person, I'll consider that a violation and I'll put you in prison." He said, "But more importantly, Mr. Gonzales, every time you think about drinking or doing drugs, I want you to pull that picture out and I want you to make a choice. And if you choose drugs or alcohol over your children, it makes it that much easier for me to send you to prison." And the light went on. After 9 treatment centers throughout my life and tons of jail programs, the light went on and I realized I had been making that choice my whole life over everything and anyone. I was accepted into drug court on zero tolerance. There was no sanctions on the grid for me, none. Drug court and my family encouraged me, they empowered me, and they believed in me. I graduated in October of 2001. Drug court helped me become accountable for my choices, responsible for the outcomes of my life, and grateful for my freedom. Since graduation, I've married my beautiful wife. I have beautiful kids and grandkids. I've also accomplished 4 college degrees. Thank you. I have been a financial and procurement manager for the state of New Mexico for 11 years. I'm also a licensed drug and alcohol counselor serving district, magistrate, and municipal problem-solving courts. I have been on the board for the New Mexico Association of Drug Court Professionals, now going on my 8th year, currently serving as their treasurer. But here's the stark reality, folks. Had drug court or my family given up on me, I would still be in prison and not eligible for parole until March of 2019. My message to all of you today, never give up. Never give up on what you do and what you believe in, and never give up on your clients and participants, because you never know when the light's going to go on. I believe in drug courts with all my heart and soul. Do drug courts work? Can people change? Here I am against all odds, clean and sober 17 years. Thank you.
And now the rest of the story. Carlos went through so many drug treatment programs. Some of them invited participation from families, so there we were, but they never held. And there came the vicious cycle, relapse, and he had spiraled so out of control. He was a person non grata to his siblings. They would not accept him in our family. And then now he was in jail, facing many years. I had heard about drug court, and as he said, I went and found out about it. I went and I told Carlos, not expecting that he would because of his past history. I didn't think he could stick to it. I really didn't. And then I go back to drug court and find out that he needed to go before a panel to be accepted in drug court. I talked to the coordinator, and then I talked to the judge. I had known the judge from, I was acquainted with him in business and from a civic organization that I belonged to. I begged. Reluctantly, they accepted him. They probably figured he was a hard case. To everybody's surprise, he graduated drug court. And then he mentored a lot of people with the same problems he had. He then was sober a year, 2 years, went on and on. Now, he's the person we always knew he could be, a caring, giving, loving person. Praise God and praise drug court.
Good afternoon. I'm Rudy Gonzales, Carlos's dad. My wife and I are parents of 5 children, Carlos being the youngest. He came into this world in 1968 and was the most fun, loving kid, easy to raise. Anytime Johnny Cash came on TV, he'd go grab his toy guitar and stand in front of the TV and imitate Johnny Cash. And as he grew older, regardless of what his mom was doing, he'd go grab her and start dancing with her. But somewhere along the way, we lost Carlos. We lost him to drugs, and we lost him to alcohol. And after many, many years, Carlos got into serious trouble, facing prison. And I felt, well, it's the inevitable. But his mom said no. She had heard about drug court. She went to drug court, convinced the coordinator and the judge to accept Carlos, and they did. Between the coordinator, the judge, and a very dedicated sponsor, Carlos completed drug court. And now Carlos is a loving son, a loving brother to his siblings, a loving husband, a loving father, and enjoys a successful career in state government. And this is a result of this fantastic organization and our faith in God, that my dream for my son Carlos has now come true. Thank you.